Hello, world. It is Monday, August 22nd, 2022, and looking out the window at Defiance, it's a little overcast, trying to be nice. Cooler this morning after that big rain yesterday, but of course the rain brings a little humidity too. The devotion for today is entitled Eternal Life by Kaji Dosha. Kaji bases the devotion upon Luke chapter 18, verse 18, New Revised Standard Version. Good teacher, what must I do to inherit eternal life? And there is a content warning for violence in this devotion. Kaji writes, I made myself breakfast this morning. When I poured my baby's cereal and got out of my beloved's path to coffee, I did something rare for me. I made myself breakfast. One of the most sacred acts of loving is to prepare someone a meal, and that someone can, and often must, be yourself. And I thought about preparing someone a meal because I had my mind on a grocery store in Buffalo called Tops, where in May a white boy filled with hatred hunted black people, engaged in one of the most sacred acts there is, preparing to prepare a meal for someone they loved. Caring for your body is a sacred act, and this killer desecrated a holy place. And they are now, as always, in the hands of the Lord who formed them, in the person who bore them's womb, who gave them life at first breath, who gave them life eternal after their last. They are safe in God's arms, even as they can never again be in the warm embrace of their loved ones. And we mourn, and mourning is not enough. Teacher, what must I do to inherit eternal life? You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself. Every crisis we can think of starts here. We fail to love God, neighbor, and self, and that failure is death. Needless, senseless death. Make yourself breakfast, beloved. Pour yourself a cup of coffee, or maybe tea. Prepare for your day with love. Be fortified with food, love, and hydration, because we must change everything. And the prayer. Help us to love completely, God. The life of this world depends on it. Put my shades down because the sun's starting to come out. It's affecting my camera. There you go. That's better. This devotion for me, a couple of things that come to mind is one, I was just listening to a podcast from NPR, This American Life, that gave tribute to the 10 individuals murdered in that Tops grocery store in Buffalo, and told their story and who they are and who they were, and what they meant to those who loved them and cared for them, and what they meant to their community. And it was gut-wrenching to listen to, but also it was good to listen to. And this devotion reminds me that we are really responsible for doing one thing that Jesus said all of the law and the prophets hang upon, and that's loving God with your entire being and loving your neighbor as yourself. That's how we inherit eternal life, and that's really how we live eternal life, by loving God with our entire being and loving our neighbor as ourselves. And that means everyone. No matter what they look like, no matter where they come from, no matter the language they speak, even the religion that they follow, we need to love our neighbor as ourselves. It's really up to us, and it's up to us to encourage other people to do the same. So I hope you think about that and pray over that and see what you can do in your life each and every day to love God with your entire being and love your neighbor as yourself. Because, as Kaji pointed out, we must change everything. Hope you have a good day, and hope to talk to you again tomorrow.